Gotta welcome them and love them.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome to the March Community Meeting. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Avery. I'm the HR manager. You can't hear? Thank you. Yes. I'm the HR manager. I've been working for about 2 months now. So it's been a really great time here. I've been really enjoying it here. What I've gotten done in the last month is a lot of recruiting and hiring. So we had 2 new servers start in the last couple of weeks, and we have 2 more servers joining the team this week. We also had a new cook start yesterday, and we have another cook who should be starting within the next week. And we also have a new move-in coordinator. Her name is Penny. She will be starting next week, and she will be supporting the sales team in helping new residents move in, helping with move-outs, making sure that we don't tie up all the elevators with all these move-ins and move-outs. She's going to be a really big help to Kristen and George and Dave. So if you see any unfamiliar faces, make sure you say hello. I've been updating a board in the mailroom with everyone's names and positions, so please make these new hires feel as welcome as I've felt these past couple of months. I've also been working on making sure our new hires get the proper training right from the start, and also following up on the continuing education for our current team members so that everybody is giving the best service all of the time, no matter how long they've been here. And the last thing I want to talk about is our Heart of Caring program. This is where team members and residents can give shout outs to team members who have been providing exceptional service. We want to make sure that we recognize those people. We're going to be announcing our top performers every quarter. And so this Friday is going to be the last day for this first part of the year. I have some blank cards. I will wait by the elevators after this meeting if you want to grab a card from me to fill out. You can drop them off at the box in the mail room or at the front desk. You can also call or email me if you'd rather do that to tell me about the people that are taking care of you. We're going to announce next week who the top performers are, and we're really excited to give some recognition. And oh yes, and I put more pens by the box in the mailroom. Please stop taking the pens. Those are there so that you can fill out the cards. All right, does anyone have any questions or comments for me? Yeah?
I think we should have an amnesty day
Mhm.
for cups, because I know you ordered 250 new cups,
Mhm.
and it seems like at breakfast time we're short of cups.
Short on cups?
Yeah, so.
All right, we.
So
Mhm.
an amnesty was if you bring a, there'll be no penalty or anything.
Okay, I understand.
Wash them first.
Yes, she wants an amnesty day for people that borrow our cups.
Or
Um,
pens. Or pens.
Yes, yes. Yes?
Since we came in late,
Mhm.
because you mentioned, how many new?
Yes.
What is the staff increase, just
Mhm.
briefly, how many?
Yeah, we've got in total 4 new servers, 2 new cooks, and a move-in coordinator that's going to help the sales team. So thank you. It's been a lot of fun meeting new people and growing our team. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share, add? Great, thank you so much.
Good morning. Michelle Billing, the housekeeping manager. Not too much going on in housekeeping right now. Oh, okay.
Can you talk more into the mic?
Yep. Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Michelle Billing, the housekeeping manager. There's not too much going on in housekeeping right now. Just kind of looking into getting caught up on any outstanding work orders and whatever else needs to be done. As always, the pest control issues, if there's anything, report it. And that's about all I have for today. Any questions? Go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about coupons.
Mhm.
Trying to redeem coupons is almost impossible. I had a coupon and asked for blinds and windows, and the cleaning lady came in and did the blinds and windows and did clean my apartment. And my understanding about coupons is you're supposed to clean in addition to the coupons, because cleaning blinds and windows once a month is a freebie. So what's the story with?
No, that it was a billable service.
No, the senior lifestyle handbook says that once a month, the first week of the month, you can ask to have your blinds and windows cleaned. And then they don't have to clean anything else. I've had that done several times, and you don't have to pay for that. But when you redeem a coupon, you're paying to have your windows and blinds cleaned, and they should be cleaning the apartment in addition.
We will look at that.
We'll look into that and see exactly what's going on.
Because last week they cleaned my blinds and windows, and she didn't clean my apartment, and I'm not gonna pay for that with a coupon because it's free, so.
Okay, yeah, I know there's been a couple work orders in for you, so we'll make sure that we get everything rectified.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to get clarification about
Mhm.
that. Are coupons redeemable in addition to the cleaning or instead of the cleaning?
The coupons are good towards the billable services. You will always receive your weekly cleaning. So let me look into exactly what happened in your situation and we will get it rectified.
Okay, thanks.
Go ahead.
It is right. In other words, if you want something additional done, you can request that that be done instead, within that, however time they have. They don't have to do the regular cleaning, they just have to stay within the time, the half hour or so. But if I want both things done, then it's a charge.
We will look
So
into it.
I would.
Yeah, it all depends. We'll look into it and I'll have a more definite answer for you.
Like if I wanted the apartment cleaned instead of the whole apartment, something like that. So look into that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was gonna add a half hour to the service with the coupon.
Which you can do, because that would be, if it was extra service, it would be billed. So you would be able to use your
Right, but
coupons
if it's
towards
on
that.
list of what they can do instead of.
Okay,
So that's what needs straightening out.
okay. We'll look into that. Anybody else? Sherry?
Can you tell me what time of day you usually check your voice messages? Because I know there's some
Repeat the
times
questions, too.
I've called and never got, and I know you're real busy, but if we sort of had an idea, we'd call like right before and get the message through.
Sherry's question was when I check my voicemails. I try to check them in the morning and get back to everybody by early to mid-afternoon.
So you only check them in the morning?
I try to check them in the morning, yes.
Okay.
One more question in the back?
Yes, Michelle, I've been here 15 years, but I was not aware that you could have blinds and windows cleaned once a month as a matter of course. Is that
That's something that I just said we are going to look into. That might have been something in the past, but we're going to look into that and see what we can do. Okay? Yes.
In the
Okay.
handbook,
And
the
we'll-
first day of the
We're-
first week of the month, you can have blinds and windows cleaned for free instead of cleaning. It's in
Okay,
the
we will look into that. Okay, yes.
All right.
Okay.
We're done.
Is there any other questions that don't pertain to coupons or window and blinds? All right, I'll bring in somebody else. Thank you.
No, she said instead. She said in addition to.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna Pennycamp. I'm the business office manager. And I first just want to give a shout out to the front desk team. We've had a couple of additions over the last month and they're all settling in and I think getting acclimated to the front desk and doing a great job. So I appreciate everyone's patience while we staffed up during the shortage and hopefully we'll be rolling on, forging ahead. And just one reminder, rent is due on the 1st of the month and considered late if received after the 6th of the month. And so if received after the 6th of the month, there is a $75 late fee. Ugh. I know everyone has better ways to spend $75 than to pay a late fee. So I want to remind everyone again that we do offer a community-based ACH program, and that is a program where our bank speaks with your bank on the 6th of the month to exchange fees. And it is a wonderful way to ensure that your rent is received on time, because I know many of you are out and about in the community enjoying all the wonderful activities or traveling to meet your friends and family, or you might unexpectedly have a stay in the hospital. And this is just a surefire way to avoid late fees and get that rent payment in on time. Any questions for me? Yes, Clarice.
My understanding is that you're the supervisor of the front desk staff, is that correct?
Yes, Clarice is asking if I supervise the front desk, and yes, they do report to me.
Okay, I wanted to ask you regarding elevator issues, because we've had a couple recently, and if a person is caught in an elevator, they press the button, the alarm button. Well, it happened recently that the person did not hear back, and there are always communication issues we're dealing with here. And so if a person is having a difficulty like that, it's very important, even if the staff calls maintenance to fix the problem or whatever, it's very important that they get back to the person who's caught in the elevator, because it's frightening to be caught in the elevator. So I'm asking you about that. And the other is, when we have an issue like that fire in an apartment the other day, do we not have a public address system that could notify us that the elevator is down on account of the fire or something like that?
I'll talk about the public address system.
Okay. Clarice was asking about the elevators, and when there is an entrapment on the elevator and you press the button to alert the front desk that you are in an elevator and the doors either won't open or the elevator isn't moving. And yes, we do follow protocols that button that you push does initiate a call to the front desk, and the front desk does respond when they receive that call. I have been at the front desk on occasion when a call has come through, and I can tell you that I answer that call and hear nothing on the other end. So make sure that you're speaking when we are asking you what the situation is in the elevator, so that we can attend to you. And I would also say, just to piggyback onto that, when you're calling the front desk, be aware that we are receiving a lot of calls at the front desk. And if you could be as concise as possible when you're asking for something from the front desk or reporting something to the front desk, that would be appreciated, because there have been times at the front desk when we are answering phone calls and additional phone calls are coming through. And sometimes I understand that the phone is ringing and we are trying to get to you. So please try to keep your conversation with the front desk as concise as possible. And then in terms of the public announcement, Clarice asked whether or not we can announce on floors when there is an issue. And I'm going to let Norm address that when he comes up here. Yes, Rana?
Well, I often find that things aren't working, so perhaps you should have somebody go in the elevator from the staff, press the help button, and see if it's really working, if you can hear them or not. You know,
Sure.
some people don't talk, but I think most people hear. Anyway.
So Rana is saying that if we don't hear someone on the other end, that we should go and take a look to see if the elevator is up and running. And I want to assure you that we do.
What I said.
Or check where the elevator is so that we can,
That's not what I said.
okay.
What I said is, have go in the elevator, pretend they're stuck.
Oh, I see.
Let them press, that's what I
Okay.
use the word press. Press the help button
Mhm.
and see if you hear them. You know, it's like you call, you know this, you call a phone number and you get the most ridiculous
We'll
response.
text them
Because
today.
people never listen to their phone messages or their phone voicemail. But, or whatever that is. But anyway, you know, you could do that and see if it's working.
Okay, so Rana is suggesting that we, if we get an emergency call from an elevator and we don't hear a resident speaking, that we go and test the system to make certain that it's communicating with the front desk. And yes, we can absolutely test that.
The next question I have, sorry, is why aren't there two numbers up at the front? Like a little board or something where.
Two numbers up at the front for what?
Like, do you have something to put people on hold?
Mhm.
Yes, we have multiple lines at the front desk.
And then why aren't there two people working there all the time?
That we do have two people staffed,
But they're running around doing other things.
correct.
It's-
Because we have only one phone at the front desk.
Then why aren't there two?
Rona, you could have 3, you could have 5. There's multiple lines and there's many lines. The
I know,
challenge
but
is.
That's where we're asking that, I've been at the front desk myself, we're just asking that you keep your conversations concise when calling. Is there another question for me?
Thank you.
All right, folks, have a great, yes, Doris.
Off the space downstairs that has been vacant for so long, is there some particular thing that holds it up, keeps it from being rented?
Are you talking about a retail space? What space?
The space downstairs, the vacant space downstairs in the building, on the outside of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dolores is asking about vacant retail space, and I'm going to let Norm address that when he comes up here. Okay? All right, folks, have a great day.
Just keep that.
Hello, I'm Christina Alger. I'm the Director of Hospitality and Resident Services. I just have a couple things. This afternoon in this room, Crystal Home Care will do a presentation. They're an additional home care agency that will be presenting on their services, and that's at 1:30. I'm doing floor meetings. I'm almost to the bottom. On Thursday this week, I will do 4, 5, and 6. 7 and 8 was scheduled for last Thursday, but we had a lot going on, so I'm going to reschedule 7 and 8 for April. The new resident orientation is going to be scheduled for this Wednesday at 11 o'clock in the dining room. So if you're a new resident that moved in the last month or so, you should have gotten an invitation to come and enjoy lunch and meet all the directors. And the last thing is we are going to be holding the elections in the suburbs on the 4th. So the last round of elections will be held here. So we'll be able to finish out for the mayor and the alderman election. And that's it. Rana.
Yeah, just about, if you got a mail-in ballot, be sure to mail it in before or on the 4th of April, or you can drop it off at the early voting places, and they're all over. But if you can't get out, just mail it in before, you know, the 4th is the latest that you can mail it in.
That's Tuesday.
Rana shared if you have a mail-in ballot, you have to mail it in by the 4th or drop it in by the 4th to one of the drop-in centers
On the 4th.
on the 4th. But you have to do everything by the 4th. Sherry.
I just want to add one thing, Craig. There's one other option we have. You can bring your mail-in ballot that has not been opened to polling place, and they will let you vote there
No.
instead of giving you a provisionary ballot. Okay, so it will get counted that day.
If you have not opened your mail-in ballot, you can bring your unopened mail-in ballot to the voting
Yes, you can.
in the suburbs on the 4th, and they will let you vote that day.
Yeah, we're playing tag team. So then, the other thing being that if you moved in and you're here more than 30 days, you are welcome to come downstairs, bring a piece of mail with this address, and you are more than welcome to register that day to vote. If not, if you have a way to go where you were living before, vote there.
If you are a new move-in, you can vote here on the 4th, as long as you have a piece of mail that says this is your address. You can vote on that day. If not, you'll have to go back to your old polling place.
And it's an important election, so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an important election.
We're close. Every vote is really gonna count on this one.
So Sherry,
Sorry,
please vote.
We didn't plan this.
We didn't.
They're like a tag team over there. You guys are funny. Are there any other questions? Anything other than the election? All right, thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Molly Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Resident Programming here at the Breakers. We have a lot of great stuff happening in April. So on the 5th, we're going to the Illinois Holocaust Museum. The Holocaust Remembrance Day is in April, so we are celebrating that. Well, going for it. And then on the 12th, we're going to see the Japanese Gardens. On the 19th, to the Smart Museum. And then at the end of the month, on the 26th, we will be going to the Garfield Park Flower Show, doing 2 trips, because it is a free show. We think a lot of you will want to go. And then Dave will also be going with the second trip that day to the flower show, adding on a stop to Sprout Home, which is a big garden center. Just on the topic of trips, I do have a trip suggestion box down in the mailroom. Feel free to write your trip suggestions down, and we are taking a look at those. As you all know, Shantae will be on leave for a little bit soon, and so we are planning out our trips for the summer now. So we're getting planning ahead. Give us some trip suggestions if you have some, but we have a great plan going also. Looking ahead, the Garden Committee meeting is this Friday, the 31st, right here in the showroom. If you are interested in gardening on the deck, if you've gardened before or want to learn more about gardening, come to the showroom Friday at 1 o'clock, where Marion, the chair of the Garden Committee, will be here talking about gardening this summer. We have a lot of holidays coming up. We have Easter coming up, which we will be having a brunch downstairs. We will be having an Easter Bunny visit at 12 o'clock on Easter. I know. Great of him to stop by. And then we do have our Passover Seder happening next week. If anybody is interested in attending the Passover Seder that did not sign up, please give me a call. I am ordering our food today. Some great things happening. We have a magic show coming up from Greg, our magician. The Civic Orchestra will be here next Friday, the 7th at 1 o'clock. They have been so great to us, doing many concerts for us. We will be having a quartet up here on stage for the Civic Orchestra. On April 11th, it is National Parkinson's Awareness Day. That is a Tuesday, and so we are doing something called Pump It Up for Parkinson's. We will be having a New Step marathon all day, asking people to sign up for 15 minutes on the New Step. The goal is to get 30,000 steps through all 4 of our New Steps up for the 30,000 people in our area that have Parkinson's. So, a couple other things. The resident play is in April. We have secured our tickets for Hamilton. I'm still hearing people ask about Hamilton. We have our tickets for November 1st. And then just a couple off the calendar announcements. For those of you that get help with our tech tutor, Lynn, we are transitioning from having tech time with Lynn to tech time with Molly and Shantae. So Lynn will not be coming on that twice a month basis. She will be doing other things, and so we will be helping out with any tech needs that you have instead. Still plenty of tech help to go around along with Jessica from Dining doing her computer classes. And then my last plea to everybody is to please sign up for bus trips. If you think you're going on the bus, please sign up. It really slows things down when people just show up for bus trips without signing up. And especially because Tilia, she's new, still learning names. I know she knows most of her regulars. But if you just show up for a bus trip, she's trying to get everybody's information. So please sign up for bus trips. Okay, questions? Clarice.
Last night at the Residents Association meeting, or immediately following, I learned that you have an email list for people who want extra notification of things or whatever. Could you speak to that, please?
Yeah, Clarice asked about my email list. Every Friday, I email out the next week's dining menu and buzz. If you would like to be added to that email list, give me your email address. I am happy to add you, your family members, anybody to the email list. You'll actually be a little ahead of the knowledge of the building because you'll see the buzz on Friday instead of Sunday. So I'm happy to add anybody. You'll get the dining menu and buzz to your email.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe?
Yeah, in addition to that civic orchestra quartet, I unfortunately didn't hear you mention any other entertainment.
So Joe asked about any other entertainment coming in April, which there is plenty. I just have a whole clipboard I'm going through already, so there is plenty of entertainment. You should be getting your newsletter on the 1st of the month, which I always have our entertainment. We do have a new duo that we're trying out. Their names are Jeff and Janice. I believe they are here April 4th. Tell me if you like them. I always love to hear feedback if we like the entertainers or don't. We do have Matt and Cynthia and a couple other people coming in April.
Thank you.
Vince.
I just wanted to mention, and I forgot to bring it up to you before, but on Good Friday, April 7th, there is a walk downtown. We meet at the Daly Center at and it will be a walk basically up Michigan Avenue. Several of the monuments along the way is what would be stopped at and that type of thing. And it finishes at the cathedral, at Holy Name Cathedral, at about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's, I think, total walk is probably a mile, maybe a mile and a half. It's not a big thing or anything in that respect. But I'm going to hobble along with this, and I think a lot of other people could as well. Okay. If you have any questions, give me a holler.
So Vince was saying that there is a walk on Good Friday that it's about a mile long, going to some monuments and then ending at Holy Name Cathedral. He will be doing it with his walker, and if you'd like to have some more information and learn about it, go see Vince. Okay, any other questions? Programming? No? Thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm going to cover for Plan Ops right now. They're busy and they have their hands full working on some things we have to kind of work on, preparing for some visits and inspections we have coming up this summer. One of them is we added Timothy. A lot of you have met him. We call him Tim. He's working with Daniel and Kevin and Will. So far, so good. What they've been able to do is reduce the number of work orders that are outstanding. I think one of the things we keep working on, and there are some changes to how we meet to figure out the timeliness of response to some of the work orders. However, the amount of work orders that were outstanding has been drastically reduced. That was a challenge for a while, and we've made progress there. Now we're focused on the response time. If any of you, and I just got a call this morning from someone, feel that something is taking way too long, please give me a call, leave me a message, and I will follow up on what's going on, what has taken so long, and I will get with either Michelle or the maintenance department and figure out what the delay is and get back to you, okay? The other one is ComEd, the power outage. That was a really, really, really big deal. We did it at night. We had to work with a lot of people. It took a village. We had plumbers, HVAC contractors, We called other individuals that I can't say enough. We had a nurse practitioner in the building. We had an EMT. We're an independent living community. That being said, we all know that we have a lot of residents with needs. We felt that we had a moral obligation and another obligation to at least bring in other people to just monitor and assist those that were on oxygen or may have had other clinical needs without the support systems in place. And I must say, that night, it was a long night. We didn't leave here till I think 1 something in the morning. I know I got home at 2 something, and a lot of us had to turn around and come back, but it went off without a hitch. ComEd was able to, the technician that came out was fabulous. He was able to isolate a certain part of the building, even though his office and his supervisor said that the entire community would be shut down. The technician that came out and went somewhere outside to some electrical box or transformer was able to isolate certain parts of the building. So some of you did call the front desk. We were able to keep the phone up and running and asked, well, what's going on? The power didn't go out. It did go out to major parts of the building. The plumbing went out, the pumps went out, certain things went out, but he kept the front desk alive. He had certain sections of the building that stayed on. So it went really, really well. And to those of you that we stopped by, I know it was late, and then we circled back and checked on you again to make sure you were okay and everything was okay with whether it was your oxygen concentrator. I appreciate you putting up with us knocking on your door and the neighbors too. I ran into some people in the hallway at 1 o'clock in the morning, which I appreciate because one of the residents, she was checking on her neighbors and she saw us. It was Chris, and she's laughing, but we ran into her around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning in the hallway. But I appreciate you looking after each other and your cooperation and patience during that process because it was very, very stressful and it took a lot of people to make it work. What we needed to do was accomplished and we're okay now. That being said, that's connected to fire pumps, fire panels, all this other stuff that has to do with our fire system. It came up just now, and it came up as far as communication in the building and a public address system. There is one component to the fire panel that in the next week or two will be the last piece of the puzzle. They focused on getting everything up and running. The fire panel was damaged during a flood we had, which is what damaged the pool and damaged a lot of other things. The first thing they fixed with everything were the necessary components, which is get the fire panel working, make sure that the building is alarmed. The next piece in the next week or two will arrive, and it's the last piece. It's an intercom system that's connected to that firebox downstairs. However, this building is not equipped with a public address or intercom system that communicates inside your apartments. The only place it will communicate is to the elevator bays, elevator lobby areas where you wait for the elevator. There's a speaker right above that. That's the only place that that public address system is connected to and can communicate. So in the next week or two, that will be working. We usually use it for an emergency. We use it for certain things. We don't use it a lot because if you use it too much, then people won't pay attention to it. It's kind of like crying wolf. So that last piece of the puzzle will be done, I'd say, in the next week or two, and that's the communication in the elevator base. The last thing on here under maintenance and plan ops, someone asked, well, I wrote it under here, but I'll answer it here, about the retail space. There is one retail space left to rent. That's the one next to Hearing World. I think I started off with 4 at one time, and we lost some tenants. It's been a challenge. The city of Chicago right now is averaging about 27% vacant retail space. And that, it was in the 30s. It was like 32, 37. It was really high. What happened during the pandemic is we're still working our way out of that. A lot of businesses went under. A lot of restaurants went under. A lot of businesses went out of business. So we're still recovering from the pandemic and a lot of businesses not surviving. So we're in the same boat. We've been fortunate. And again, another challenge, and I've shared it with most of the residents, is that when we look at retail spaces, I try to look at it as a win-win. I'm not going to bring in a dispensary. I'm not going to bring in some other business that doesn't make sense. I try to look at, that was pretty funny, wasn't it? Well, actually, that might do well here. Who knows, from what I hear. It's not funny, but yeah, I've heard some things, trust me. Now I lost my train of thought. I try to look at it as a win-win. It has to be a business that complements what we do. An example would be Hearing World. You want to bring retail spaces that are of good service to you guys. It could be a therapy company, we can't bring in another one, but those are examples of it. Whether it's a home health, whether it's a pharmacy, whether it's Hearing World, the pantry, where you can get something quickly. So it's a challenge not only to find tenants, but to find the appropriate tenants for the breakers. We want to make sure that it's a complimentary service to the residents of the community. So that's where we are. We've gotten some interest. No takers so far, and it's because it's very, very competitive, right? Up and down the Sheridan corridor right here, it's very, very competitive. There are a lot of vacant retail spaces. So that's where we are with the retail space. Yes, ma'am.
As another person brought up a little earlier in the meeting, the sign for that vacant store has fallen down and needs to be put up again.
Well, thanks. I will have someone clean it up. She mentioned that the sign that was up on the several windows, there's 3 windows, has fallen down. So we'll have someone correct that and put it back up. The other thing I have on here is Monday. Monday, this is under maintenance and plan ops. Any questions about some of the stuff I just covered? Yes, ma'am.
It's not a question, it's a comment. Because before you said that, somebody had told me that, somebody who is on oxygen had told me that the building had provided in-person calls for those people who were dependent on electricity during the night while they were sleeping, and was very appreciative. And I just wanted to commend you for having a nurse practitioner here, an EMT person here, and thank you for taking that.
Well, thanks. Clarice just wanted to share that the residents that we did check on were very grateful and appreciative of our follow-up and checking on them. So I appreciate that. We did, and Christina worked hard, really hard on that list, and a lot of us just hung around to follow back up with them before we left after the power came back on, and everyone did really, really well. The other thing that's on here is Monday, April 3rd. Mask will be optional. If you've heard the news, Advocate Healthcare System, the only 2 places I think they're going to have mask, ICU and possibly at Children's. However, even at the hospital, I think as of last week, they've done away with the mask. The mask mandates have been dropped a long time ago as far as city, state. We kept them in place, and it had more to do with the norovirus, flu season, the winter. It's getting nice out. People are moving around more. You can go outside, get some fresh air. So just be mindful of others. Be respectful of individuals. Some, either due to health concerns or other concerns, might still wear a mask. That's okay. I myself, I've shared with some of our folks that if you can keep one in your pocket, it would be appreciated, because if you get in an elevator and it's packed, it would be wise to wear one, not just for others, but for yourself. But again, as of Monday, April 3rd, communication will go out to everyone, all the signage will switch over, but it will be optional for everyone, residents and our employees here of the Breakers. So if you see someone wearing a mask, that's okay, their choice. Politician visits. Wow. Wow. Wow is all I can say. I've never seen this many runoffs. It tells you, I guess, the state of affairs right now with politics in the city of Chicago. Don't know who would want the job, but that's okay, they can have it. It's really, really tight. There are runoffs in the alderman race, there are runoffs in the mayor's race. So when Rona was saying, please vote, it's very important. It's very, very, very important. Right now, there are a lot of individuals trying to position themselves and also visit the breakers. You're an important population, seniors are. So I think you should make your voices heard, and the best way to do it is to vote. Do your homework, understand what they're about, what they stand for, and just vote, and vote often. It's Chicago. There you go. The other one is new hires. I have to thank Avery for her efforts because it's much better when you have someone dedicated to recruitment. If you guys watch the news, you know what's going on around us. We kind of live in the same bubble. Recruitment is a challenge. A lot of businesses right now are closing certain days or their hours are shortened, and it's all because of the lack of individuals or employees. We've been okay. We've been fortunate. Not only do we have Avery now where she can focus on recruitment and other things, but recruitment for us is a challenge. And I've shared this before that not only do we have a challenge with the pool of people being smaller, less available folks, but we take it seriously. We can't just employ anyone to work with seniors or work in this community. That's a big piece of the puzzle for us, is the right person. As well as recruitment, there are a lot of other things I won't get into the details of that are not optional. We have really, really been diligent about making sure that all our new folks attend a new employee orientation, and there's a different approach to their onboarding when they first start off. Hopefully by doing that, we can impact the outcome of their tenure. Less turnover, they understand what we stand for, they understand what's expected from the beginning. So there are a lot of efforts that are all going to hopefully contribute to the reduction in turnover, retention, and a better quality and outcome in our workforce. All that being said, so far so good. I think the dining room, the few people that we have employed and the orientation and all that, you're seeing the results of that. And that's from the service standpoint. However, we continue to work through that as we have students that go back to school. Same thing happens at the front desk. They're part-timers. This isn't their career. They won't stay here forever. So we always have that constant replacing of the younger workforce. And that's all in the recruitment. The other one is pop-ups. I don't know who's enjoyed it more, if you guys enjoy it more or if we do. The cool part about the pop-ups, whether it's the waffles, the baked potatoes, is that it's a surprise. We can't share when, where, or what it will be. We've already met, they've already discussed what the next couple will be, next few. All I have to say is stay tuned. You might be there, you might not, I don't know. If you partake in meals, if you go to dinner, if you go to breakfast, if you go to lunch, whatever these opportunities are, I hope you can experience it because it's a lot of fun. And any one of us would get tired of the same thing all the time. So it kind of throws a twist into things and it flips everything upside down for a little while. And it all will revolve around food, snacks, and different ways to engage the management team. That's another piece of it that's a big piece. It had to be done in a way to not overburden the workload that our staff already has. So that entire thing, if you've made the observation, it's the management team. It's operated, it's organized, and behind the scenes there's some supplies we need, but it's the management team who takes ownership of the pop-up events. And they've enjoyed them a lot. It's a lot of work, but I wish you can hear them talking about it when they come back or the next, how much fun they had doing it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the pop-ups. It's a lot of work. It is a commitment, but they enjoy it. They enjoy it probably more than you do, and I hope you guys can engage or have an opportunity to partake in some of those. Those are the pop-up events. What else is on here? I keep getting the question, and Molly, she reminded me twice to talk about this. Rummage sale. We will not be hosting or facilitating a rummage sale. My advice is that if you have some belongings, you have some things in storage, you call the Salvation Army, you call the White Elephant, you make a donation to that comes out. I've seen their vehicle in the back. That's a great organization. They help vets that come home from overseas or that are relocating. But please contact all these other agencies and not-for-profits who specialize in moving of heavy furniture or whatever it is that you need. It's free. If you need some of the contacts, we have a list of people downstairs. The move-in coordinator role kind of helps connect people with some of these agencies. George has the list. Some of us have the list. We'll be happy to share the list, but we will not be hosting or facilitating a rummage sale. Good? The hallways, hallway improvements. We continue, we're waiting, and we talk about it. I can hear myself the last time, the same thing. We order the carpet in lots, and they manufacture it, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks. And yes, they ordered it early on, so the next batch of hallways, I think you figured out the pattern now. It's gonna start from top to bottom. I think we finished off on 30? 34, 30. Yes, so the next batch of hallways will be 29, all the way down to the next 5, whatever 5 is, through 20, what, 5? There you go. From 29 to 25 will be the next batch of hallways, and it'll hopefully happen in the next month or so. I don't know, I haven't received an email as far as delivery of supplies, carpet, and it takes a lot of stuff. We store it in the building, and then the contractors come out. They're doing a good job. The place looks amazing. I just ask that those of you that see things in the hallway, just help us out, let us know. We already are working on a system to try to touch up the hallways. Some of the new hallways are already, it's gonna happen. Nothing we can do about it. So we're working on a system on how to touch that up or start from the top to the bottom once a month and try to touch up some of the hallways. So let us know if you see something, whether it's a stain on the carpet. The sooner we get to it, the better chance we have of removing it, or anything else that you see in the hallways. Let's see.
Norm?
Yes?
I just wanted to mention, because my floor got done in the last batch, and the contractors that they have doing this are so great. All the employees who work for them, they're very polite. They make sure that people can navigate around whatever they're doing, or they have cords, they make sure to help people. I was just very impressed with the care that they took for the residents as well as with the work that they did.
She wanted to share that she was one of the floors, she lives on one of the floors where the contractors were doing the work recently, and they were very courteous and mindful of the residents and working around people. And I must say, everyone that works here, even the contractors, they really enjoy being here. And I appreciate everyone being patient and kind to them. It's not easy. They get yelled at a little bit here and there. But the line I use is, have you ever argued with your grandmother? There you go. You just say, yes, ma'am, and you keep going. You put your head down and you say, yes, ma'am, and you always be kind, always be patient, and they've done an unbelievable job of working through the process with the residents. So I appreciate that. I really do, and I'll let them know. They've been here twice, and they really, really enjoy being here. The other one is that it makes them feel good when they hear from you guys how happy that you are for the upgrades. That makes them really, really happy to hear that the residents are appreciative of the work, that they enjoy having, the new carpet. And I think it's a mutual understanding of gratitude, and I will definitely let them know. I do talk to them. So when they come back, same thing, just be patient with them, and they'll do the best they can as quickly as possible, okay? all my notes. Questions? Questions, comments? Yes?
I would just like to pay applause to the work staff in the restaurant area, because those servers are elegant, compassionate, kind, and it's ongoing, and it's stunning to watch. And the story I'd like to tell is of a 90-year-old person who had a wait staff stand and patiently wait, and she decided whether she was going to have more strawberry ice cream. And it was just so wonderful. And that goes on all the way over and over. It's just much love.
She wanted to share her gratitude for the staff in the dining room, how patient they are and understanding. An example would be she witnessed an older resident, about 90 or thereabout, just patiently take her time while she decided if she wanted more strawberry ice cream, and the server just stood there and waited. I would say 99% of the time we try to do it right. We may once in a while not get it right. Just let us know. We'll do our best. We try to work with the staff. They're on the younger side, but the dining room is a big operation and a busy place. So it takes a lot of patience. So I appreciate that. I'll let them know. Yes, ma'am.
It is beautiful and elegant to watch as those servers carry the large number of trays that they do. It's gorgeous to watch.
She shared and she said it's beautiful to watch how they carry the large number of trays. It's impressive to me. Christina and I have joked about it, all of us in there. I can't do more than one in each hand, so I'm okay with that. I'm impressed all the time on how they do it. Lorena is one of them. She can, you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't see how she holds that bus tray up with all those plates. I can barely do it, and I try to work out a little bit, but I can't do it. It's impressive. Questions? Yes?
I have one problem about the dining room that's not about the service, but about the food. I eat in the last serving at 5:45. 2 days in a row, we ran out of major things. One day it was mashed potatoes. The next day it was pork loin. And when you look at the menu, when you make your choice, and then they come back and say, oh, we don't have that anymore, that's not right.
I did get your message. I think you called me or you emailed me or something like that.
A number of people I'm sure did, but.
No, you did.
No.
You did.
No.
Someone did. For the pork loin, she's referring to the other night. They had pork loin. They had, I forgot what the other two entrees were. And there were three specific instances that evening where they didn't have pork loin for those tickets. And I've met with Antonio and we've talked about that specifically. He just shared what his challenges are with the 3 entrees and trying to calculate what and who and what's going to be the most popular that evening, but we've talked about trying to circumvent that and other options on how to work around the later seating not getting the desired entree. So we have met and talked about that. Yes, Clarice.
On that same subject, at last night's meeting, that problem came up, and it was suggested we have a response from the members of the residents that were at the meeting. There were 47 residents, and how many people felt that there was sometimes a problem about the food running out. And I know this is redundant, but I am obligated to share what they said. So we took a hand vote, and 25 of the 47 people said that they felt there were sometimes problems with running out of food at the last service. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's almost 50% of the people who were there.
Clarice said it came up and it surfaced in their meeting yesterday as far as the running out of food and the later seatings. We will figure it out. If we have to park one of us in there for the later seating for a while to assess it, we will. If we have to take turns and monitor that, to make sure that we're getting accurate information, we will. We'll figure it out. It's a team effort. And on both sides, whether it's the management team or on your side, I don't believe everything I hear. There's only one way to find out, is to put yourself there, watch, and take notes. So if we have to figure it out and get involved and try to support the initiative and monitor the situation, we will. We can all take turns. We won't all be there, but we can assess the situation for a while to see how often it's occurring, okay? Yes, ma'am.
I have a real small, minor question. Where are the remotes in the laundry room or the TV?
The remotes for the TVs in the laundry room, they were attached to the TVs until someone decided to rip them off the TVs. They were attached with Velcro. You remember the coily cords? So now there are no remotes. You have to get up and actually push the button on the side and operate it manually.
It doesn't work like that for me. I can't get a channel.
I can show you if you wish. The new TVs are a little different. They're not as easy to operate and find the buttons as the older TVs, but there are buttons on the side.
Okay.
And there is a way to switch the channel, turn it on, but we've replaced them a couple of times, so we can't just keep putting them back. They were attached with coily cords and Velcro, if you remember, at the beginning. So now we're not going to replace them. You just have to turn it on manually. And I can show you, Barbara, I can show you. All right, be safe, take care of yourself, stay warm.
Because I thought I was going to bring that.